Fade away.
Let me step back and kiss myself. MVP time. Windy City Assassin does it again.
Live from WICB Radio.
Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag, 92 yards.
This is
It's a goal. The Stanley Cup to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Chicago's Beat.
Hello and welcome to this beautiful Wednesday, May 23rd edition of the Chicago Beat on WICB Radio. I am Mike Mercado, and to get this started, we are going 30 seconds of Chicago baseball since both teams are now under 500. Last night, the Houston Astros beat the Chicago Cubs 2-1. The only two things you need to know about this game: Tony Campana had a cool slide to third. Soriano hits another home run. Travis Wood loses, going to 0-1, giving up 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. And Happ gets the win for the Houston Astros. And for the White Sox, they lose to the worst team in the American League 9-2, falling under 500, as Gavin Floyd is lit up for 9 runs in 3 innings of work, and Justin Morneau hit a 3-run home run for the Minnesota Twins. And that was 30 seconds of Chicago baseball on WICB and the Chicago Beat.
White Sox. White Sox. Go, go, White Sox.
1 ball, 2 strikes, a pitch. Hey, Cubs win the division! Cubs win the division! Cubs win the division!
So on the last show, I made a prediction that the Indiana Pacers will beat the Miami Heat in Game 5. Well, here, take a listen. I believe the Indiana Pacers will actually beat the Miami Heat and take a 3-2 game lead. And I'm going to say the final score will be 89-82 Indiana.
Sometimes we suck.
Yeah, well, Miami ended up taking the series lead 3-2 with a close game, winning 115-83. LeBron James goes for 30 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, going berserk, just turned on the switch all of a sudden. Dwayne Wade puts in 28 points, so 58 points just between those two alone. And then big games for Shane Battier, who started hitting his 3 and was playing awesome defense on Paul George and Danny Granger. And he also gives them 13 points. Then you have Udonis Haslem, who with 10 points and 6 rebounds off the bench, playing good defense. For Indiana, there was just no inside presence. None at all. You got 8 points from Roy Hibbert. That is a position and a zone that they should be dominating in against the Miami Heat, and they have not taken advantage of it all series long. The only time they did, they won. They're not doing it. Paul George led their team with 11 points. You're not beating Miami like that. You're not beating Miami if you're going to let them open to transition, if you turn over the ball, long rebounds. If you become a jump shooting team, they're going to beat you 115-83 like they did every single time. And then they lose Granger, who rolled his ankle on a 3-pointer over LeBron's shoes, tried to come back in the game and just had to leave. Those are the injuries that nag, and especially in the playoffs where it's a day off, you're back in the game, it's going to be hard for Danny Granger to maybe come back in the series. We're going to see they're going to need him if they're going to go back into Indiana and force a Game 7. But Miami looks tough in the East. I don't know who's going to stop them. I have no idea who could stop them in the East. Now that the Bulls are gone, you're looking, there's not a lot of competition. There's not a lot of teams who have the offensive firepower to beat the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference. Now in the West Conference, there's 2 teams who could do it. But in the East, not anymore. And you're seeing that the East, there's a lot of good defensive teams that struggle to put the ball in the hoop. And it is possible that later on tonight, we're going to know who's the first team in the Eastern Conference Finals, as Boston goes to Philadelphia for Game 6, leading 3-2. Now that's just been one of the more underrated series in the playoffs so far, just because of how ugly the games have been. Now we're seeing Philadelphia is a tale of 2 teams. It's a Jekyll and Hyde type of team, just like Boston. You don't know whether the young and hungry, athletic, high-energy team is going to show up or the lazy, half-hearted team. Now, I think they're going to go to a Game 7. I think it's going to be another grinded defense. I feel Philadelphia's defense is going to step up one more time. They got to keep KG from finding that youth again, though. He's had an awesome season since Doc Rivers moved him to center. But they're going to have to stop KG from exploding, and you cannot let Rajon Rondo have a triple-double. That just can't happen. And you've kept Paul Pierce in check for the most part, just like Ray Allen. So Philadelphia's in the series, but they need to come with good defense. They need to use their youth to their advantage, and they need to use that home crowd. I believe the Philadelphia 76ers will force a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics and head back into Boston. And on NBA.com, breaking news, Udonis Haslem is suspended 1 game for the hit on Tyler Hansbrough. And Pittman has been suspended for 3 games for that elbow in that 4th quarter during garbage time. So who knows how that's going to affect you. Udonis Haslem has been a huge huge part of Miami's resurgence in the series. So it could go either way. Now things are going to get interesting. Indiana has to take advantage of that home crowd, that defense, that youth, that energy. They have to take advantage of it if they're going to force a Game 7. Because we all know 2 of the top 5 players in the NBA are playing for the Miami Heat, and every single time they hit the court, they're going to be the favorites. Don't forget to share the show on Twitter and Facebook. I'm on Mike Mercado 2333 or at Facebook/MikeMercado2333.com. And it is time for 10 seconds of the NHL. The LA Kings beat the Phoenix Coyotes 4-3 in overtime to head to the Stanley Cup. The Devils play the Rangers tonight at MSG. And that was 10 seconds of NHL hockey on WICB and the Chicago Beat. Don't forget, we need your help, guys, so follow the show at mmercado2333 or comment us on Facebook at Facebook/MikeMercado2333.com. For everybody at WICB, this is Mike Mercado on the Chicago Beat. Thank you for listening. Please enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Have a good one. We'll see you next time, only on the Chicago Beat.